What's going on, everyone? I am your host, the coldest player in the game, Lord Iceman. I want to appreciate you all taking the time to tune in. Yes, I'm looking a bit transparent because I want you all to be able to see what I have on the screen as I get to talking. This is going to be another season, season 14 of Fantasy Football League, and I am the host of the League of Extreme. I enjoy hosting this league as well as the others, but this one most importantly because it is filled with my friends and associates, and we have been doing this actually for 15 years. But the first year we didn't actually count it due to a lot of the confusion, point system, etc., etc. So first, I'm going to start off giving information about League of Extreme, but I'm also going to give you all information for those watching and listening. If you want to join any of our other fantasy football leagues, as well as our fantasy basketball leagues when they kick off. For starting with League of Extreme, our longest tenured league. Our longest tenured league doesn't have standard points or roster system. All right. So with the League of Extreme, we actually run a bit of a deeper roster. We run one extra bench slot, and we also run defensive players as well as host defensive points as well as special team points for individual players. So let me go in a little bit deeper for this. So obviously we have the standard quarterback, two wide receiver, two running back, tight end, and we also host the flex position. Now, we also have two defensive slot positions replacing the standard defense and special team slotted position. All right. Now, with the way points are divvied, uh, defensive players get points for tackles for loss, for sacks, deflections, interceptions, as well as half tackles and things of that nature. Um, we wanted to make it a bit more interesting in regards to the drafting process as well as the points earned on a week to week basis. I hated to see people sometimes bottleneck with drafting a defense and special team for a team that's pretty bad on either side. Giving you an example, the San Diego Chargers are not really good for special teams, but they've had a pretty mediocre defense, sometimes a little bit up above in regards to their defense, right? Or I give you another example. Let's look at the Chicago Bears of old, the 2000 Chicago Bears. Everyone knows that their cover two defense was one of the best in the league, and they also had Devin Hester. Now imagine if you were playing in the league back then where you were able to rock with Devin Hester, but rock with Devin Hester without needing to play with the Chicago Bears defense, but being able to play with certain players from the Chicago Bears defense. That's what we wanted to go with in this direction. Also, this league also hosts keepers. Every year, every head coach has the opportunity to hold at least one keeper from their team. A keeper is basically any player that you choose from your roster from your previous season, and you get to keep that one player to carry over into the next season. Now, how the keeper system works is normally the player that you choose will cost you a draft pick in the next season, and that draft pick is normally slotted where that player's value would be. Now, as you can see, this is my team over here to the far left of your screen. All right. You see, I have certain players that I did draft and certain players that I accumulated through free agency throughout the season. Kirk Cousins, Keenan Allen, Adam Thielen, Austin Eckler, Jared McKinnon, and so forth and so on. So from here, people will probably feel safe to assume that people I will be looking to possibly keep and carry over will be somebody like maybe Deebo Samuel, who is a Swiss Army knife for the San Francisco 49ers. Maybe Justin Herbert, who's arguably one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the league, or Austin Eckler, who was top 3 in fantasy football, if not number 1 in fantasy football last year. So what will happen is if I chose one of those guys, let's say Austin Eckler, we know that Austin Eckler is shooting pretty much in the top 3 for fantasy this year. So he would probably cost me a first round draft pick if I chose him as a keeper. And when it comes to somebody like a Justin Herbert, he probably would cost me about a third round draft pick. Now Samuel, could go anywhere between first round to third round. But either way, the position that Yahoo would feel safe to assume that this player would be valued at going is what draft position he will go in, and that will be the draft pick that would be basically used on that particular player. In this particular league, also, we can trade draft picks and trade players for draft pick as long as they are within reason. We do have a veto system in our league. So if enough head coaches decide, okay, we're going to veto that trade doesn't make sense, then obviously it does come off the table. But we can trade draft picks in the draft. We can actually trade draft picks in the draft. And we can trade draft picks during the season as well. League of Extreme, like I said, our longest tenure league, 14 years going strong. All right. And for those who are already in the league, I want to give you all a little bit more information in regards to the league. All right. Let's look over here. You know what I'm saying? Just, right here, right through me. As you all can see, the draft time is set for September 3rd, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Now, a couple years ago, we had a bitch-ass nigga, excuse my language, that was in the league that didn't want to pay attention to the draft time, despite the fact that every season I always go over the draft time with everybody. I always ask everybody if the draft time is okay with them, if they can meet the draft time, and if not, what date and time would best suit them. A couple of years back, somebody didn't pay attention not only to the video, but the chat that we had, and we were actively communicating with everybody and stuff like that. And he pretty much missed a portion of the draft. He could have actually entered the draft, but he decided to whine, bitch, moan, and complain, and was not able to draft his team, and eventually bowed out of the league, which is why we are 14 years strong instead of 15 years strong. We didn't count that season due to his bitch assness. Fuck him. I'm no longer associated with him anyway, so 2 tears in the bucket. But for those who are a member of the League of Extreme, as it stands, if this date does not suit you, if this date does not suit the time for you, please reach out to me ASAP so we can get a proper date and time slotted that best suits everyone for draft time. Keep in mind that the season actually starts September 7th, which will be the Thursday coming right after this particular date. So we want to get our draft done either that Monday or that Tuesday so the teams are set, organized, and placed in order so the first actual game will count and the points will be accumulated, and we don't have to worry about waiting a full week before we can start. So if Sunday, September 3rd does not work for you all, please be vocal and let me know so we can try to get slotted for Monday or Tuesday or either earlier Sunday. No, actually, we won't be able to go earlier Sunday. We'll have to go later Sunday. We can't go earlier Sunday. The time slots prior to 8 p.m. Eastern have already been soaked up. I apologize. So we will have to go later than 8 p.m. in order to make that happen. Now, I do have some more information associated with League of Extreme, but I want y'all to hold your seats right there because I want to get some information to the fans out there who possibly would like to enter another one of our leagues. All right, so if you are a fantasy football fan and you're interested in joining either of our TKN House Esports and Entertainment Fantasy Football Leagues, this information is for you. We have 2 additional leagues. The other 2 leagues are entitled Slaughterhouse, and our other league is entitled Tabula Rosa. All right. Tabula Rosa is actually our lower entry tournament. I don't want to call it novice, but it is designed for novice players. For those who have either never done fantasy football or have only done it here and there occasionally, you know what I'm saying, and not too hardcore on the football like us in the League of Extreme. You can join Tabula Rosa. Now, Tabula Rosa League is, the rule set is bare bones. It is basic. It is the standard for any other fantasy football league. It is the standard for Tabula Rosa. You will have only 1 quarterback slot, 2 running back slot, 2 wide receiver slot, a tight end, and a flex position. But that flex position will only consist of wide receiver and running back. You have about 5 bench slots, but you also will only be able to play with a defense and special team slot. You won't be able to play with defensive players like you can in League of Extreme. Now, with the Slaughterhouse League, the reason why we call this Slaughterhouse League is because Slaughterhouse is more offensive. With the Slaughterhouse League, you can actually rock with 2 active quarterbacks, 2 active wide receivers, and 1 tight end with 0 flex position. 0 flex position. Due to the fact that you have so much top-heavy ability to accumulate points, we eliminated the flex position. Also, bench positions have been narrowed as well due to being able to have due to the people being able to have the opportunity to dip into free agency, aka the waiver wire, in case they do have season-ending injuries. In each of these leagues, you will have in Tabula Rosa, you only have 1 injured reserve spot. But in League of Extreme and in Slaughterhouse, you will have 2 injured reserve slots. All right. So in Slaughterhouse League, you also can play with 1 defensive player on your roster as well. So all 3 of these leagues have their own rule set and whatnot. If you are interested in joining either of the leagues, feel free to reach out to us via email at tknhouseent@gmail.com. Once again, that is tknhouseent@gmail.com. And in the subject line, be sure to put the name of the league that you would like to join in. Either Tabula Rosa for the newcomers or the lower level interest player, or Slaughterhouse for those who are all about getting those points, and League of Extreme. I want to also break down some more information for you all. Though we do have 1 League of Extreme, I would like to create an additional League of Extreme if we can get 10 more players. Now, here's what I want to do moving forward. For those diehards those who love football and heavily interested in fantasy football, I definitely want to create another League of Extreme because I would like for the leagues to kind of mix up and go head to head, so to speak. All right. What I mean by this is by starting an additional League of Extreme. Let's say we had 2 this season. What I would like to do is swap the players the next season. 10 over here, 10 over here. I like to mix it up so that we're going up against different people, so that we're drafting differently and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? So we're having a bit more competition when we're going into these leagues year after year. Also, I have some new information that I want to bring to you all who are already a part of League of Extreme, I'm going to get some graphics set up and things of that nature. I want you all to bear with me. Please hold as I get these things set up.
It's your boy M.I. Silver back in the building. Welcome to the Realm of the Real, on the Real Field. Today we're looking at all that. Frankly, the boy was running wild, okay? The boy was outlandish, alright? Giving them the business, alright? It was real bad. It was real, alright? We're going to jump right on. Enjoy your time here. You know what time it is. Realm of the Real, on the Real Field. Check it out. Tell them what they call it.
All right, so I just wanted to let you all know that while I've been trying to get things set up for the league overall, I've been working on some graphics and stuff like that, and I want to spice things up this season, and I want to kind of bring things back to the way they were when we originally started the league. I want to get back into a little bit of the shit talk. I want to get back into a little of the back and forth between the head coaches, the managers, or what have you and whatnot. So I've been working on some versus material to utilize throughout the season. Okay, I want to make it where we are interactive throughout the season, where we are communicating, you know what I'm saying, throughout the season and everything like that. And I'm going to be also adding League of Extreme to the Let's Talk Series podcast throughout the season. I'm going to be talking about the fantasy football as well as real life football, and I would like to have the players on, and I would like to have the players on not just speaking about real football, but also about the fantasy football league in itself. I would like to have some of them talking shit, you know what I'm saying, maybe going back and forth or whatever if possible, but you know what I'm saying, I know time is of the essence when it comes to these things, so it gets kind of hard to make these things happen. But I would like for us to be a bit more interactive on a week by week basis. But I do have, as you all can see, some of the graphics that I've been working on that I want to utilize for League of Extreme, for our fantasy football leagues throughout the year in general. Okay. I also have some things that I wanted to show you all in relation to the draft night as well. And hopefully you all will like that. But I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait on that. I'm gonna wait on that. Gonna wait until we are a bit closer to the draft time before I do that. I have something else I want to bring to you all's attention, those who are in League of Extreme. And also the fans of fantasy football in general. We do our drafts live, okay? Normally our drafts take about 45 minutes, if that. We've finished our draft in 30 minutes before. That might be different for Tabula Rosa for those who aren't real fantasy football heavy, or who are not too familiar. And I know for a fact with Slaughterhouse is a bit heavier also in terms of time because of the fact that people want to go after the points, but also people kind of snatch and grab. People get certain players right off the bat, right off the board, and you got to think a little bit harder in regards to how you're going to gather your points when these first 2 or 3 players that you had in mind are gone pretty quickly. But gentlemen who are a part of League of Extreme, I would like to reach out to you all and ask that you all do the draft live again. But when I say live, I mean live. Sit down with us live. Maybe not in person, but live via the stream. Whether we are on video or on audio, live here via Twitch, live in the chat or the group chat via Facebook. I want to make it live like we used to. And Couscous, remember, we used to actually get it live. We used to be talking in the Yahoo chat and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? We used to predict, who Jeremy Worth was going to pick. I remember back in the day when Jeremy Worth and Larry were picking up all the ATL players. We were like, yeah, these dudes gonna lose. These dudes they not gonna win at all, bro. They are picking all the Falcon players, but it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work at all. But yeah, man, I like to bring that energy back, man. I would like to have the draft live again. So definitely hit me up and let me know if you're down for that, you know what I'm saying? Because I do have some graphics that I'm working on for that, and I want to make sure everything is set in stone and in proper order so we can make that happen. Once again, I want to thank you all for your time. This was just a early phase informational video. If you're interested in getting more information about signing up, or you need more information about the rules for the league and things of that nature, I do have some things pre-typed up. I didn't want to get too long-winded and take up too much of you all's time, but be sure to comment under this video where you see it on social media, and also be sure to email at tknhouseent@gmail.com. Once again, that is tknhouseent@gmail.com. If you want to sign up for the league, make sure you put in the subject line which particular league you want to join, either Tabula Rosa, Slaughterhouse, or League of Extreme. All right, speaking about the prizes, all right. In League of Extreme, the prizes have rotated. The prizes have gone from trophy, ring, video game of choice, and we've had money entries a couple of times, okay? I'm going to spice things up a bit this year. I would like to give out fantasy football rings from here on out. Okay. They do cost money, so y'all gotta kind of bear with me because I am coming out of my own pocket with it. But I do want to have fantasy football rings to give out. If you all would like an actual glass football trophy or a title belt, I'm going to have to ask that we kind of go back to the entry fee. But whatever you win, you will be able to keep. There won't be an exchange process, meaning if you win the title this year, you got to give it to somebody else if you lose it next year. We will just be making a new trophy. We'll be making a new belt, making a new ring every single year here on out. But I'd like for you all to meet me kind of halfway in League of Extreme if you are interested in doing that. Also, in Tabula Rosa, also in Slaughterhouse, you will be winning customized fantasy football merchandise that we will have in the store, in the TKN House store. this upcoming season. All right, so you're gonna get a customized shirt or something like that. 9 times out of 10, we'll have a customized shirt for Tabula Rosa, which will have the league name and whatnot on it. It'll have your team logo if you create one, as well as your team name and your name. Now, if you don't create a logo, that's fine. It'll at least have your name and your team name on there. The same for Slaughterhouse. Now, Tabula Rosa, League of Extreme 1 edition is this year. There will be a brand new worst award. Yes, it's called the Worst Award because Jeremy Worst was the person who finished dead last year. And whoever finishes dead last this year will wear a customized last place t-shirt, and they will have to post it up in the sports group. Yep, post it up on the sports group. You get last place this year, customized worst position t-shirt. You will wear it, and it will be posted in the sports group. It's all in good fun. It ain't going to be something that you can't wear out in public or whatever the case may be. But it is going to be a little bit silly. It is going to be a bit goofy. Now, for those who are interested also, I know people are used to having paid leagues or paid entry leagues. We do have that option as well. We can turn either of the leagues into paid entry leagues, and we pay out the same way we do for fighting game tournaments. It'll be $10 entry, 70-20-10. Now, if you're not interested in the 70-20-10, I just want you all to understand that we always want third place to at least be able to get their entry fee back. To be fair, at least get their entry fee back. If you're interested in a winner take all pot, we can do that, just as long as we get 10 or more people to enter that league in order to do so. All right. Once again, if you want any more information, you want to sign up, send us an email, tknhouseent@gmail.com. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe to TKN House across all social media platforms. All right. The best way to do this is to click our link tree and actually subscribe to it, because anytime we upload any new content, you'll get a notification through the tree, and then all you got to do is go to the tree and click whatever it is, whether it's our podcast, whether it's our streams, whether it's new videos going up on YouTube, or if it's new music. All right. You'll get all of that through the link tree. So it's best to follow and subscribe to that, so you'll have access to everything that we're willing to put out there. All right. So once again, thank you all for your time. In the meantime, between time, I bid you all adieu. Have a great one.
Yo, if this is your sign, this is a sign. Stop messing with hood for real, please.